All right, let's get things underway. I'm going to go ahead and just get us to the places that we need to start off at. Hey everyone, Spidey Librarian here, and welcome to Classics Revisited. Today we're going to be watching the 2009 film Watchmen, which, I'll be honest, this is probably the watch party that I have been least looking forward to, if only because this is a 3 frickin' hour long movie. My God, what was I thinking? I had actually planned to watch this earlier in the year and then I can't remember if I just was feeling low energy that day. I don't remember if there was a technical problem or something, but I could not watch Watchmen back in like May or June when I had originally scheduled it. So I figured DC month, great time. And then I remembered it's 3 hours long and I've got to watch it. So, anyways, just hello, thank you guys for being here. I see that CG Anime Fan is here. Good to see you. Let's see, Marshlands is here. Good to see you as well. This should be interesting to see you react to. It's one of the more interesting, I guess would be the word I used, of Zack Snyder's filmography. Which version am I watching? I'm watching whatever version happens to be on HBO Max, because that is how I have access to it. Let me go ahead and just get over there and see what version we do have access to. If there is another version that is more than 3 hours long, I'm not watching it. I will not know. I'm already going to be staying here way longer than I normally would. That will just not happen. So let's just see. All right. So there is the movie. I don't see a like I see Watchmen chapter 1 and 2. I see the Watchmen TV show, the Ultimate Cut, Watchmen the Ultimate Cut. Oh, let's just have a look at it. How long is it? 3 hours and 36 minutes. No. No, I will not be watching that. Um if I had to guess, the reason that it's 3 hours and 36 minutes, there's probably a little bit of extra footage cut into it just from the regular scenes. I'm also guessing that they probably put in the story of it was excised from the original movie. The story of the uh oh God. It was the mariner like coming home, and there were issues with that. So yeah, no. No, I will not be watching the ultimate cut. So, let me look at the regular one. That is okay, 2 hours and 43 minutes. Okay, it's still longer than I would like. So, um, let's see. You thought that the Watchmen was 2.5 hours long? No, 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 no. It's definitely over 2.5 hours long, like significantly. 15 minutes over 2.5 hours is just about halfway to 3 hours. So, let's see. Version of Watchmen that CG has seen is the theatrical version. HBO Max is the theatrical wow, I can't talk. The theatrical cut and the ultimate edition, the two animated movies and the show. Yeah, no, they've got so much Watchmen content here. We're just going with the theatrical release, 2 hours, 43 minutes. That's how we're going to do this. My God, I am just not particularly crazy, and it's only because of the length of the film. I actually do remember when I watched this, I enjoyed it, although I definitely also had some issues with it too, which I'll get into when we get into the intro. Also, guys, my apologies. My sinuses appear to be acting up today. So if I sound a bit stuffy, that's why. I've also been cleaning and sort of dusting around my room. And that tends to have an adverse effect on my sinuses as well. So I'm sorry about that. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get things set up. I'm going to go ahead and start by getting the sound in order. I've got the headphones plugged in. I've got them on my head. Let me go ahead and just mute the audio desktop. There we go. All right, and I'm just gonna go ahead and click on the film. I'm gonna let it play. Hopefully you guys are not hearing the HBO movie presentation fanfare right now. Let me know because I definitely will need to address that. Okay, and of course, yeah, this HBO Max is very, very bad at setting to like telling you when things are happening. Like it's not really giving me a counter. Oh, right. The graphic novel came out in the 80s, and so it's very 80s. The whole Soviet threat thing. He's the comedian. Who is that? He looks familiar. Um, all right. I'm pretty sure that was about 30 seconds. Yeah, I think I was a good 40 seconds in or so. So we're just going to return this to 0. And we're going to do that. So, all right. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see. If I'm referring to the Tales from the Black Freighter, yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah, that is added to the Ultimate Cut, and I believe it's roughly at least 15 to 20 minutes for that animated segment. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure that's awesome, and I will want to watch that someday. It's just that this is not the day. This is absolutely not the day. All right. When CG was a kid, he tried to watch most superhero films. However, since Watchmen is not for young viewers, you didn't watch it until you were an adult. That was a wise move, actually. Yeah, no. The comedian was played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Okay. What have I seen him in? I've seen him in. I know he shows up in The Boys. I know that actor shows up in The Boys, but what else have I seen him in? Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That name sounds very familiar. The face looks familiar. I can't place where I've seen him though. So, and I'm usually pretty good at that kind of thing too. So, all right. Let's see. So we are basically ready to go. I'm going to try to get started fairly soon because this is a long one. We're going to be here until like 5 o'clock easy. So, all right. Um, let's see. I think we are good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. But before we do, I just want to let you know that if you are new here or you are visiting on the VOD sometime in the distant future, just know that if you are expecting to see audio and or video from the feature in question, I'm afraid that's not going to happen. What you see right here is what you're going to get. That's the camera pointed at me while I am watching the feature and reacting to it. This will be used to make this will be used to wow, I cannot talk. My mouth is running faster than my brain. This footage will be used to make reaction video content in the future at some point. And in the meantime, I will have the timer up so that you can follow along, and I'm putting that up right there. So you do have that opportunity. You'll be able to watch it along with me as I'm reacting to it. And that's pretty much what we're going to go. Now, if that's not what you're here for, I completely understand. Please feel free to click away. I don't want to waste your time, and I certainly don't want any negative engagement from the people who claim that I'm wasting theirs. People say nobody wants to see you reacting to things. I've got at least a couple fine people here in the audience that would beg, they would like a word, I think. So, anyways, that is what we're about to do. Now, as we will be making a reaction video from this at some point in the future, there will be an intro, there will be the viewing, we'll do what I call the post-mortem afterwards, where we review and react to the content that we have seen, and then there will be an outro, and then we'll be done. So that's pretty much how we're going to go, and yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, So feel free to click away if you are not interested. And if you're sticking around, thank you. I appreciate you. And I hope you enjoy this. All right. Let me see. The Jeffrey Dean Morgan has a cameo appearance in Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. That's definitely not going to be what I remember him for then. Marshland says that if he's not mistaken, you can actually watch Tales from the Black Freighter as a separate entry on HBO Max. I might have to do that at some point. He's definitely got a small handful of various different comic book roles. Was also Negan in the Walking Dead universe shows. I only got so the Walking Dead. I think I got maybe halfway through the first season before I stopped watching. That was mostly because one, I didn't have anyone to watch it with. Two, I had read the graphic novel already, and three, I don't know. Like other stuff was just pulling my attention at that period in my life. So anyways, I watched the first like episode or two. It was fantastic because it was almost exactly like the graphic novel, but I hear it does deviate pretty substantially. So all right, so let's see. I think we are just about good to go. Yeah. All right. So I mentioned that we were going to go ahead and make reaction content off of this live stream, and we will. So we're going to get to that introduction, and we are going to do that right now. Hey everyone, Spidey Librarian here, and welcome to Classics Revisited. Excuse me. The live streaming show where I watch a classic movie that I have enjoyed and react to it on my YouTube channel. Today's feature is the 2009 superhero movie, Watchmen. Please remember that as Classics Revisited serves as both a watch party and reaction show, this will serve as a watch party and reaction to the 2009 movie, Watchmen. Oh man, what to say about Watchmen. I'm not gonna lie. I have been looking forward to this watch party the least out of a lot of my watch parties. And part of that is simply because of the sheer length of this movie. We're used to movies being from anywhere between an hour and a half to about 2 hours long, maybe 2.5 at the long end. Very, very few instances are we willing to sit through like a 3-hour movie. I think like Avengers Endgame is like an example. Is like that one's about 3 hours, right? It's it's up there. I know that. Anyways, and Watchmen would have been one of those movies for me at one point. However, then I saw it. And I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's actually pretty good in a lot of places. However, my history with this media goes back at least a good 20 years when I read the Watchmen graphic novel when I was in I would have been in library school at that point. And I fell in love with it. It was gritty, it was dark, it was a really good deconstruction of the superhero slash crime fighting vigilante subgenre, whatever you want to call it. And Alan Moore just really kind of knocked it out of the park with this one. I mean, I've seen a lot of good I've read a lot of good Alan Moore stories. I've seen some decent movies that were made off of Alan Moore's stories. Watchmen was, to me, kind of like singularly good. For a while, it was my favorite graphic novel of all time. So when I heard about the movie coming out, I had no idea who Zack Snyder was at the time, and I didn't care. All I cared about was that we got a really good Watchmen movie. And in a lot of ways we did. But one of the things that I noticed, even as I was watching the movie, was that with a few noteworthy exceptions, this is a movie that really, I would say almost slavishly adheres to trying to recreate like every single panel in the original graphic novel. And you would think, as someone who loved the graphic novel, that that's exactly what I wanted. And I thought that's exactly what I would have wanted too. And then I saw it and I was like, well, yeah, this is cool with motion and everything, but like, there's nothing new here. There's nothing exciting. There's nothing that is making me go, oh yeah, that's a new insight or something into the story that I hadn't considered before. You don't really get a lot of that in this movie. There are a few noteworthy exceptions, and I'll point them out either during when I see them or during the review portion of this reaction. But yeah, Watchmen, this movie, I was like, this is good, but it's still kind of off, for me. So it's partially because of the length and partially because you know my my remembered experience from when I saw this in the movie theaters with my friends and everything. I was just like, okay, all right. But it has been a very long time since I have seen Watchmen, and maybe things have changed since then. Maybe it's because I feel like it's been a good 15 years since I've watched this movie. So maybe things will have changed since then. Maybe I will have changed and I'll feel differently about the movie. I'm looking forward to seeing that at least. I am not exactly looking forward to sitting here for 2 hours and 43 minutes. But you know what? That's what I do. All right. That is what I do. I do it for you guys. So, all right. So, anyways, we're going to get to it, and we're going to get to it in just a moment. If you enjoy this reaction, please go ahead and thwip the like button, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well. Also, consider sharing this out to your friends, your family, your followers, anyone that you think would enjoy my reaction to these media. In this case, fans of the DC universe. The Watchmen section of the DC universe. Whether you like or dislike this movie, let me know why in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you about this film. And finally, you can find the full and unedited live stream of this reaction on, wow, my brain just does not want to work today. You can find the full and unedited live stream of this. I'm going to need a moment. Apparently, my brain just does not want to work today. So, all right, let me try this one more time. Okay. Again, my apologies. Okay. And finally, you can find the full and unedited live stream of this reaction on my YouTube channel. There is a master playlist of all movies that I've watched and reacted to, and I'm dividing them up into shorter playlists, mostly by genre. Watchmen would be in the, see, hold on, I'm going to check the genres right now because I don't remember all of them. Okay. Watchmen would be in the action, science fiction, and mystery genre playlists, as well as several tagged playlists for comic book movies, DC movies, and superhero movies. Whichever of those playlists you go looking for, be sure to look for them on my YouTube channel under the category Watch Party. All right, and I think that's everything. So we're going to go ahead and get things underway. Pull out the old headphones and see. There we are. Okay. All right. And let me go ahead and get out the script for the timer real quick. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so for those of you that are new here, I'm going to, when I throw out the Let's Go thwip, about a second later, I will click play on the feature, and then after about a second after that, I will hit start on the timer. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself about 2 seconds on the timer right here, just so that hopefully by the time I do hit start again, things will be more or less synced up. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Watchmen, all right? Okay. All right, everyone. 2009's Watchmen. Here we go. All right. And we are going. Oh, Warner Brothers. This is all very silent. Here we go. Wow. I remember wanting to like the comedian when I read the graphic novel, but my God, as soon as as soon as I got any distance into it, I was like, "Yep, nope, that's not going to work." That's right. The original graphic novel was set in the 80s, and apparently they had just kept Nixon in power in that universe. Well, that just sounds so reassuring. Buchanan? Ah, right. Which that was a central premise, or one of the central premises of the graphic novel as well. Basically, does the existence of someone like Dr. Manhattan make the world a better place or a worse place because of his existence? You know? He's like, I just want to relax. Poor, poor comedian. I don't think that it matters. Throw in the glass. That's actually not a bad move. Now, if you've read the graphic novel, you know who this is. You know who's assaulting the comedian. That's another of the central premises of the graphic novel. Like who did it, and then of course why. Really? Oh, super strength individuals. God, I'm just looking at some of this. Like these are definitely tougher and stronger individuals than normal. Because my God, this would take out a normal person on the first go. Yep, that was gonna hurt. And that was the central premise of the comedian right there. Everything's a joke. Ooh. God. I'm not gonna lie, that shot right there is freaking beautiful of him going through the glass. That is a I don't know what makes it so beautiful, but my God, that's a beautiful shot of him just going through the window. I mean, if I remember correctly, the kind of through line for the comedian was that all of our efforts to make the world a better place through vigilantism and all that stuff through political means was a joke. So see, like I like a lot of these slow motion pictures that we've got going here. Like a lot of this stuff wasn't in the graphic novels, you know? And so you've got these really cool slow motion, like all these heroes, like stopping robberies and stuff like that. Like you didn't really see a lot of that in the graphic novel. You see, like that group pose, I think might have been, but a lot of stuff that they're doing here is really like if they had done more of this during the original film, I would have been like, oh yes, more of this, please. This, watch this. Okay, so that is a variation on a very famous photo of a sailor kissing a woman when he comes home, from the war and everything. Again, like that was really cool. More of that kind of thing, please. But my goodness, very a riff on the Last Supper. Okay, does this guy actually have wings, or is this just part of his costume? Ooh, I think that yeah, that was the I think that was the woman kissing the other woman. I don't think I ever caught that before. Wilson is in this? Who is he in this movie? There's Dr. Manhattan shaking hands with Kennedy. Uh, that was definitely the assassination of Kennedy right there. Oh. Okay, I must have forgotten that. The comedian is the one that did it in that universe. Okay. Oh. Is that the Silk Spectre as a mother in a bad marriage? Again, it's been a while since I've seen this movie, so there's probably quite a bit I've forgotten. What is Oh, Rorschach. Oh God, are they gonna fire the gun after she puts the flower in? God, sometimes I hate people. Okay, that's oh, I can't remember the artist's name. He was really famous. Dr. Manhattan's already on the moon. And that guy is Ozymandias. Oh, and I think that's supposed to be David Bowie over there. Nice. Holy crap. Is Patrick Wilson the owl? Or is it Night Owl or the Owl? I can't remember. Is that I clearly saw this movie before I saw the Conjuring films, so, you know. Who watches The Watchmen? It'll all be cleansed in fire. Now I recognize Patrick Wilson's like jawline under the owl costume. My God, how long did he lay there? Oh, okay. They're just like, we're cleaning this up. And of course, oh, well, yeah, duh. So he's not only incredibly strong, he is incredibly durable, which means someone who is incredibly strong had to have thrown him through that plate glass. Is that uh is that the Night Owl's little blimp thing? Here we go. So Jackie Earl Haley is one of the standouts in this film, which again has a lot of good people in it. But Rorschach is pretty much the central character of this film in a lot of ways, and he does a fantastic job just committing to the grit of Rorschach. Love the way that his mask keeps changing. Like it does that in the comic too, but like we actually see it in motion here. That's pretty cool. An abattoir full of retarded. Wow. He's doing his own little investigation. Is that Carla Gugino? I want to say that's Carla Gugino. I'm guessing the original Silk Spectre. He's like, where is it? Where's the switch? The switch that'll open up the secret compartment full of super gear. Yeah, the comedian was like, I don't know, kept an armory like, Deathstroke, I think, or Deadpool, or, whoever you want to compare him to. He's just like, guns. We're going to need lots of guns. The gangs? Okay, so this guy's one of the originators of the whole costume vigilante concept. Patrick Wilson, there he is. Okay. He wasn't the original owl, was he? Okay. Night owl, okay. Yeah, they're both lying to each other now. If I remember correctly, poor Hollis is not going to make. It's not going to be much longer for this world. Absolutely. Oh, okay. There's some symbolism. Uh, who broke into my house? Now, again, if you haven't read the graphic novel, you're going to be like, who the hell is it? Is it the guy that killed the comedian? Is he coming after, retired superheroes? You'd be wrong. Just eating them straight out of the can. Okay. He never gave it up. Nope. Human bean juice. Eh, doubt that. I keep forgetting Jackie Earl Haley is a very short man, but I believe Rorschach is not exactly tall either, but he's still someone you don't mess with. Oh, come on. Yeah. Rorschach is kind of like a moral absolutist, basically. I completely forgot that Patrick Wilson was in this as well. Yep. Just throws it right in his face. You quit. I mean, again, I think if I remember correctly, it was like, yeah, the federal government basically said, you guys either retire or we're going to start arresting you. And he was like, well, I guess I'm retiring then, you know? Didn't exactly want to, but he chose to, you know? So Hollis was a Watchman. Okay. Ozymandias. I pronounce it Ozymandias. He's saying it right in front of, oh God, I can't remember this guy's name. It's like, I don't have a lot to say, but I'm going to say it. Notice how he went to his German accent when he was talking to Dan. See? German accent now that they're in private. Oh, and what's that? Oh, okay, the Russians. Got it. Of course. Oh, nuclear deterrent. Dan Dryberg. Okay. Odd. Uh, Do you think you don't have a personality disorder, Rorschach? Oh my God. Indecent. Get over yourself. I'm just gonna start breaking glass. Uh, Dr. Manhattan and possibly the current Silk Spectre, right? I don't remember. Thought so. Oh, you can't see the future. Well, that's inconvenient. Okay, sure, thanks. Yeah, yeah, that would be a little bit frustrating. So the only other thing that I really know Billy Crudup from, the guy who plays Dr. Manhattan here, is probably one of my favorite movies of all time, Big Fish. Um, he plays the son in that movie. Eddie, is that the comedian? Yep, I bet it is. Okay, so her mother was the Silk Spectre. He's just transmuting elements. So they used to be intimate, and they are not any longer. And Dr. Manhattan clearly, just doesn't see the need for clothes, which I guess if I were being like him, I'd probably feel the same way. I know a lot of people were really upset that they saw blue schlong or something, and I'm like, come on, we cannot look at the human body and just, I don't know. Well, well, well. And the music is like it's on. Wow. Get out of here. Oh, yeah, that would make a certain amount of sense. I mean, it's kind of funny. Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. Oh, yeah, that was just awful. The tight latex on that body of yours. Mm-hmm. He's not certain he agrees. He's agreeing where he can. The future is always difficult to see, no matter what powers you seem to have, you know? It's a good point, actually. He at least wants to care. Some of the soundtrack here is really good. Sound of Silence is a really good pick. There are streets of cobblestone. Okay, so this must be the comedian's funeral. I wonder I wonder who the pallbearers are. Looks like it's just armed servicemen. The silence. What was that about? Yeah, that is Carla Gugino, isn't it? I would imagine it does beat Flying Coach. I mean, to be fair, I only drink after a certain hour of the day, too. Why do you always call me by my first name when I'm in trouble, you know? Or someone just punched his ticket. It's an interesting perspective. I've never really thought of it that way. What was that about? Oh, is that Hollis Mason? Yep. Okay, I remember this part. Oh God. Ooh, and it's on, and not in the good way. Yep. Boy, this scene. I mean, they did something pretty similar to this in the graphic novel too. It was difficult to read. I mean, for all you never know, maybe he did. Okay, what is going on here? Oh, you should run. It's not going to do you any good, but it will abuse me, says the big blue guy. Is that literally all he did was just dissolve five people? Okay, the comedian's setting a guy on fire who was not firing back. He thinks it's hilarious. Yeah. I mean, I think after this rewatch, what I'm basically going to remember Jeffrey Dean Morgan for is this film. So Oh, you will remember, she says. Dang. Okay, if he wanted to, Manhattan totally could have stopped him. Yeah. Dang. See, you want to hate the comedian. You really do. But then, like, you see that a lot of his actions are the result of, just his perspective and basically being a little bit more aware than everyone of just how screwed over the world is and how screwed over people are in general. And he's just like, you know what? Screw it. You know? Mm, the right leadership. Yep. I love that. The costume designs in this movie are also really good. Like, they look fantastic. He's like, I don't want to be a part of this. Screw this. Screw y'all. Screw the world. I'm leaving. Uh oh. No vigilantes. Yeah. I guess this is leading up to the Keene Act. Oh, wow. So Night Owl and the comedian are working together here? Uh oh. This. The comedian is a screwed up enough person that you do not want to bring him with you on a peacekeeping mission. It's going to get mobbed. Heavy? I'm sorry, dude. You're no Doc Brown. Really? You got to start shooting people? Shoot into the air. Scare them. From themselves. Wow. Yikes. What version of the American dream came true for the comedian? That's what I'm curious to know. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? I will say this, like, Patrick Wilson is actually an inspired casting choice to play Dan Dryberg. Because if you read the graphic novel, like he's got the look down, he's got the mannerisms down. He was a good choice. I had no idea who he was when I watched this, but uh, Dan slash Night Owl was definitely well done. Who's this guy? He looks familiar. Oh, Moloch. I forget. What could he do? A week ago. Oh, okay. Because no one would believe him, whatever the comedian told him. Yeah, I'll bet you were. I'd have been pissing my pants too if I wake up and I see the comedian in front of me. What does that say? Damn. Janie? Oh, list of people that need to be eliminated. And yet you let him go. I think you believe at least part of it. Oh, right. Okay. He's dying. Moloch? Really? I don't think so. I don't buy that. I mean, if he was on it, if Moloch was on it, if the old uh the old Silk Spectre is on it, I heard a joke once. Pagliacci? Okay. Good joke. That is a depressing joke. Wait, he has an interview? What kind of interview? And he's got multiple versions of him pleasuring her. No, really? Why not? Oh boy. His work with Adrian? Wow. Was it though? Ooh. Oh man. Who's all well, he's all whose? Oh, Adrian. So I think this was the infamous scene. Oh my god, I just saw blue schlong or something. It's like for a couple of seconds tops. And frankly, you didn't have to look if you didn't want to. Oh God, why are we playing Unforgettable again? Oh, gotta make sure I look good. What happened? Oh, okay. You know why you're there. Why is he getting all dressed up now? Yeah, come on. Let's go out and forget that the world is as screwed up a place as it is, right? Oh, right. Okay, he's getting dressed up for the interview. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's Rorschach right there. Oh boy, you're these guys just picked the wrong two people to try to stick up. He's not paying attention to any of that. Interview time. He takes off his glasses like, "All right, fine." Mm, yeah, that's yeah, you guys are taking on the you guys got those guys have picked the wrong marks. Wally Weaver. Okay, so this guy is like a plant. Oh God. A live human body and a deceased human. Wow. They just took care of those guys like it was nothing. Well, that was fun. What do you want to do next? Was she? Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that would be his old girlfriend. Yeah, no, this is not something I would allow. It's okay, all right. Look, even if that's true, he still didn't know. He's being remarkably calm so far. Yep, yep, that was going to happen. I'm just going to go ahead and go live on the moon. So I'm reasonably certain Veidt made sure that that happened. Billy Crudup, right there. He was the son in Big Fish. So by the time 1985 comes around, Dr. Manhattan would be 60 or no, 56 years old. Is it do they just have to be in close proximity to him for I guess on multiple occasions? You need to do something. I'm sorry? I mean, I wouldn't want her to see that, but I also wouldn't want to be alone. I think with her leaving, that probably affected Dr. Manhattan's outlook on humanity right there, you know? Oh, wow. Good God. Can you imagine witnessing something like that? And again, that would freak me out too. Okay, I guess another blue schlong moment here. Okay, how does she know? Dr. Manhattan. I guess it makes sense. What, because of the links to the Manhattan Project? Oh, okay. Eesh. Maybe don't do it that way. That's natural. Wow. But do you at this point? Yeah. Mm. He's the ultimate he's the ultimate recluse. Interesting that he still brought the picture here with him though. Yep. It's an unrelentingly dark movie. But I mean, so is the graphic novel, so 54%, huh? Might. Ooh, threats on him. Nice. Quest. Okay. Hmm. Oh boy. Damn. I can buy and sell all of you. Don't even try it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh. Well, that guy is how does he know? How did he know? Oh, she said yes. All right. Jupiter, right. Yeah. Roy Chess. Okay. Yep. Yep. Saw that. Oh, set him up. Forgot about this. They sent an entire SWAT team after him. Very, very kind of like Batman vibes here, you know? Go get the hero. Send in a squad. That grappling hook gun was probably your only means of escape. Again, he's not exactly a tall guy, but he's holding his own against these bigger cops. That was intense. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Rorschach use a gun, so he's just watching the cameras. Now I remember this scene, the him in prison. This was great. This was pretty great. Doesn't care. Is that? That's not Silk Spectre, is it? I don't think it is. Some nice flowers. He's got that Kubrick stare down. Oh, clouds. You're fat. Just kicks in every door that he walks up to. Oh, God. Okay, those wouldn't have survived anywhere near if that had been an actual, you know. I realize that's probably like, oh, okay, yeah, forgot about that too. Fooled you. Okay, so I, for one, don't condone the killing of doggos. However, in this instance, he didn't ask you about a girl. Mm-hmm. He's not that kind of vigilante. Yeah. So please don't call him. Don't call him Walter. Everyone's talking. All the prisoners are going to start taunting him. Is that so? God. You're locked in here with me. That was great. He's just like, I'm just showing you guys how it is. That's all, you know? Oh right, then the night owl thing. I don't remember what it was called. I don't know. Don't. Oh my God. It's like, what is she doing down there? Archie. Okay. I mean, that could be nice. Mm, turning out the lights. Man, I bet an extreme light source probably would blind him. Wow, she screwed that up. Okay, never mind. Good recovery. Oh, it's like, oh, hello. How are you? It's like this is taking a while, isn't it? Turn off the TV. Okay, this is the scene that I remember from the comics and the movies. I love how Rorschach just keeps making short comments at Big Figure. Was that his name? Okay. Is Dr. Manhattan like 3D viewing them or something? All right, because who they are, superheroes, the humans are the disguise, right? And they kiss as the world burns. Again, where is this image coming from? Is it a nightmare that Manhattan is having? No, it's a nightmare that he's having. Okay. That Dryberg is having. Did he just like sleepwalk down to his costume? Nice, nice quip. I like that. I was gonna say, man, you have got a hot woman telling you to put on the damn superhero outfit and let's take the Batmobile out at 3 a.m. Kind of got to do it, you know? I mean, I guess you don't have to, but you should. So she packed her costume too. The Silk Spectre and Owl and the Night Owl. Let's see what we can find to do tonight. Oh God. Okay, he's gonna topple the water tower. Okay, all right. This is before the superhero landing was really popular. You guys picked a lucky night to have a fire. That was close, but they were successful. They did it. Mm. You guys picked a good night to have a house fire or an apartment fire. Oh boy. He's like, we're gonna put this on autopilot. I've got other things to do. It's like now he's like now he's able to perform basically. Yeah. So I do remember thinking when I watched this in the theaters, I was like, look, I don't mind a good sex scene. I don't need it to go on for like ever and ever, you know? And especially like when they set it to music like this, I'm just like, what? I don't know. I guess this is just something Zack Snyder really wanted, so. Haha. That was funny. I mean, I guess it didn't go on for that long, but it just kind of felt like it did. I don't know. All right, so that guy dies, and there is now a prison riot. He loves those puns. Ooh. Um. Yeah, that guy's probably gonna die of shock. Ooh. The fear is gone, and he's like, nope. He's just sitting there waiting. Your move. And he's just like, nope, nope, I'm done. I'm out. They picked a good night to spring Rorschach too. Oh, okay, that was a sweet exit from Archie. Oh, come on. He's just a dumb psychiatrist. Leave him alone. Okay, all right, yeah. He doesn't care about you. Just give him his things. It's like, does the answer even matter at that point? What do I see? Frickin' Rorschach. They're like, ooh, superheroes. They're like, ooh, leftovers. They're just basically matrixing their way through these guys. It's like, come on, guys, keep it coming. We're in a rhythm now. We're in a rhythm, and we need more beats. Some of the prisoners are staying in their cells, like, nope, we're just gonna watch. Ooh, yeah, that just looked mean. Oh no, what's he gonna do? I mean, he did put a gun in her face. And exactly what did he do to him? Because I'm pretty sure I was gonna say I'm pretty sure the guy didn't live. Rorschach's biggest issue is moral absolutism. He picks a side, sticks with it, and doesn't care for nuance. He's fun to watch. It's fun to watch him be a badass, but yeah, he definitely is morally questionable. Yeah. Well, well, well. Hi. I am on Mars. she she doesn't get a choice in the matter, you know. Yeah, she can't breathe on Mars. Yeah. Wow. Does she just have to stay near him then? Oh, wow. That's about as vulnerable as he gets, I think. Okay. Just going out in costume. Like, yeah, you know what? We're doing this. The dude who is not moving is the one you want to talk to. Squidgy? Slater? Oh, wow. Yeah. Red World. Okay, you've got a really nice clockwork fortress. What what are you going to do with it? This guy playing Nixon clearly enjoyed it. true. Picking locks and using discs on computers. We're definitely in the 80s. The way that he talks. Rameses. Yeah. Rameses the second. Ah, okay. All right. Pyramid is basically being funded by Vite International. Bum ba da ba. And he's using an American accent right now. Yep. Whoa. Oh man. I need you to focus up here, John. Come on. He's like done with this. She's like, you know what? Fine. If you're not gonna save us, get me out of here. It's like if there is no point to me having this conversation with you, yeah, yeah, good. That's exactly what she should be saying. Yeah, we keep coming back to this. Oh, yep. His old friend's daughter. Uh huh. Yep. Mm hmm. There you go. Yep. And now she's in tears. Oh, man. Oh, Dr. Manhattan, she just cracked your construct. What are you going to do about that, buddy? I mean, he just saved it. I don't know. Depends on how you say it. And and what? Lori is the miracle, huh? Okay, all right. I never caught that. I never caught that. The little smiley face in the moon. That's, I don't know. That's funny. And we're going to Antarctica. Damn. Archie must be really fuel efficient. Archie might not have been made for these kinds of temperature extremes. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of an issue. He's probably not going to go anywhere for a while. He's got his rage to keep him warm. Wow. I mean, all things considered, they managed to put down pretty close to Veidt's little fortress here, you know? Okay, here come two of your friends, buddy boy. Oh, I don't know about that. Him and his monitors. That was definitely a thing with him in the graphic novel. He would watch and analyze everything on TV and then make decisions about like stock holdings and stuff. How is he not going to hear them? Whoa, that was funny. Ooh. He kicked the splotches off the mask. Well, so much for that little weapon. Hi. He, he just kicks Rorschach ass as he explains. Yep. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious here. He's the better hand to hand fighter. You guys probably are better off trying to reason with him. Economy of movement here. Interesting that he's like fighting them and hurting them, but he's not killing them. Practical joke. I love that. I'm not a comic book villain. See, this is one of the big issues that I had with the graphic novel. It's like, oh, we're going to make it so it looks like Dr. Manhattan does it. I realize the original premise of the graphic novel probably wouldn't work as well today, but like, I don't know. This just felt like it was, oh, we need to make one major change. Let's go ahead and just do this, you know? Um, sorry, psychiatrist guy. Okay, if it didn't annihilate everyone, exactly what did that pulse just do? Is it just a like an EMP? Like electronics just kicked off or what? Never mind. Wow. Because it wasn't the Soviets that did it. No. Veidt found a way to replicate Manhattan's energy signature, sent out several pulses to major population areas, specifically to make it look like him. Yep. Well, bye bye, New York. Speak of the devil, and he shall come. let me go talk to him. Kitty, pretty kitty. No, don't kill the kitty. Man, I'm sorry. Dude who kills his own cat. Stay away from him. Keep the gun with you. Stupid girl. Uh-oh. You pissed off Galactus. Don't do that. Ooh, compared him to a termite. But peace. Yeah. He's like he's the one that everyone's gonna hate too. Like let me go talk to him. Let me go talk to him. Yeah, that is it. Rorschach is a moral absolutist. He's like, no, I will never compromise. I will never stop looking for justice, even if he's got a warped sense of justice. Which means, another good point. If he'd cared from the start, probably none of this would have happened. Oh man, he's gonna force him to kill him. Dan had to watch. Dan had to see it. He's gone. Oh God, Dan, this is just not the time. He's not even hurting him. Okay, maybe a little bit. You going? Oh, suddenly Archie. Well, I guess they did have a line about getting Archie back. So if I recall correctly, in the graphic novel, he actually like basically says, join me, come help me usher in this new era, and basically work for me. And so I guess here they decided to make that change. Although at this point, I don't think Dan and Lori are going to be able to say anything. So they're probably not going to. They're going to just try to live in the world that Ozymandias has created. The outer limits. Cute. Oh, visiting mom. Okay. Ooh. Guess that's about the best thing she could have said right there. Did she just slap his ass? What an old flirt. Sally Jupiter and Lori Jupiter. Hmm. I'm going to guess that Adrian probably has ways of making sure the world thinks that John is still watching them too. Like he's probably thought that far ahead. Oh, come on. Why are we Oh, right. Oh no. There's no more conflict to write about. Oh boy. And if I remember correct, yep, this is the guy who finds Rorschach's journal. And so that's that's also basically where the graphic novel ended was the journalist finding Rorschach's journal, and the implication is that they're going to run that piece where Rorschach is telling everybody about the mass killings and how that basically led to Adrian's big plan for the world. And so I guess the implication is that there will be like kind of a fringe group of people who are going to be like, no, this world, the peace we have came at the price of this, but no one's going to believe them. Basically, at least that's kind of my interpretation of it. So, but hot damn, good movie. I mean I definitely enjoyed it, and I certainly enjoyed like there's a lot that I picked up from this viewing that I hadn't picked up on previous viewings, but I still think a lot of the there are still a lot of issues that I have with it, both as someone who just likes a good narrative and as someone who has read the graphic novel and is maybe being a little bit of a purist about it. I mean, I'm willing to acknowledge that, but you know, and we'll talk more about those during the post mortem. We got about 5 minutes of credits left, so I think I think that you know, especially given the length of this movie, that's really not much to wade through. So we'll give it another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll get ready. So, all right. You feel sorry for Night Owl because you feel like he genuinely saw Rorschach as a friend. I think that moment of vulnerability that Rorschach had with him went a long way towards that too. But yeah, no, I get why he was grieving that. I also get why how in the graphic novel when Veidt asks him, "No, I need you guys to help me bring peace to this new world." I get why even in the face of Rorschach's murder, Dryberg basically says, "All right, I'll help." You know, so hey, Wobble Rocket's here. How you doing, Wobble? Good to see you. How is life in your world? What's new and exciting? I've been watching uh, Watchmen, and just we just got done with it, so the credits are going. We got about 3.5 minutes left before I get to what I call the post mortem, where I review and react to everything. But I don't know who's singing this song, but I don't know. All right, you feel like the film didn't hide the twist about Ozymandias being a villain very well, but you do think that he's an interesting antagonist. I think the film, I mean, you have to understand that when this movie was made, the film or the graphic novel had been around for over 20 years. And there was, I mean, this graphic novel had a huge reader base. It was considered one of the best graphic novels that had been made at the time. It helped make comics and graphic novels a legitimate form of creative art. So when they made this movie, they went into making the movie knowing this. So they're only going to be able to go so far to hide Ozymandias as the villain. And you know, it's also the question of is Ozymandias actually the villain? Like yes, he did some screwed up things, but he literally achieved what Tony Stark could not, peace in our time. That's really hard to argue against, you know? All right, killing some time before your stream later. Nice. What are you going to be streaming? And at what time are you going to be doing it? Because I've got another stream tonight, but it's at 10 o'clock. So if I've got time, I'll stop by. How much time we got left? About a minute and a half. This is going to be one of those movies where I just have a lot to say about it, simply because I was so intertwined with the art form from which it was derived. Leonard Cohen is singing this song. Okay, I don't know. All right. Chippendale Rescue Rangers for the NES starting at 7. Okay, 7, 6 Central. So you got about an hour before you're going on. Okay. Um, I'm going to take care of dinner after this, and then I'll probably be able to stop by. How long are you going to stream? An hour, 2 hours? What's the intended length? All right. And we got about 10 seconds left. Let me go ahead and bring out the script so I can stop it when it is appropriate. 2, 1, stop. Okay. All right. There we go. Usually about 2 hours. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, and that was Watchmen from the year 2009, made from the graphic novel that I believe was published in 1985. And yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that. Now, when I saw this movie the first time, I went out and saw it in theaters. I I had friends back then that I went to the movies with, and we watched it all together. We had a lot to say about this movie, because we were all big graphic novel and comic book nerds here. And there was definitely a feeling of this was good, and there were definitely parts that I enjoyed, but it seems like in a lot of ways like it was trying so hard to exactly recreate the graphic novel that it just didn't feel like it was its own real thing. And and I still feel that way about this movie. I definitely feel like it relies so much on the graphic novel for the source material, and just trying to adhere to it so much that there are, I feel like, a lot of missed opportunities. And for example, I'd like to mention the scene where God, what was his name? Uh, the big figure and Rorschach in the prison. Like that was definitely that they hewed pretty damn closely to the graphic novel for almost every beat, including the size jokes that Rorschach kept deadpan delivering. And I believe even up to and including when Rorschach closes in on him in the bathroom, like the doors and everything. Like I don't think you actually see what Rorschach does to him. And I don't think you see that in the graphic novel either. You just see the results of what happened. I had no, I I didn't know who Patrick Wilson was in 2009 when I saw this movie. And, since then, I've seen the Conjuring movies, which I'm just like, I can't forget Patrick Wilson from that. I've seen Insidious. And so, like, I know him as kind of like the prince of horror movies, basically. And so, like, seeing him in this movie as Night Owl, like, I just completely forgotten who the actor was who played him. I was just like, whoa, that's Patrick Wilson. Uh, I, I think I said it during the credits. I'm like, Patrick Wilson is in this. Who is he in this? And then like after I asked that, there's a scene of Night Owl and like with some of the other heroes, and I could see the jawline under the Night Owl mask, and I recognized that as Patrick Wilson's jawline, and I'm like, he's Dan. He's Dan frickin' Dryberg. Oh my god! So that was a pleasant surprise. I was like, oh my god, I just completely forgotten slash didn't know that he was in this movie. And now that I've rewatched this, whenever I whenever I see Jeffrey Dean Morgan in anything ever again, this is the piece of media that I'm going to associate him most with. I think I've seen him in The Boys. I can't remember what else I've seen him in, but he's one of those faces that I'm like, I've seen him in something. Now I'm just going to be like, dude was the comedian, you know? Um, I mean, casting wise, this was a good movie. Like they had a really good cast. Definitely enjoyed. I don't remember the name of the actor who plays Ozymandias, but he did a good job. Billy Crudup did a good job as Doctor Manhattan. I think the biggest issue with Doctor Manhattan that people had was Blue Schlong Gate, basically. And I don't know, to those people, I'm just like, I didn't hear anyone complaining about seeing Malin Ackerman's breasts during this movie. Just shut up, okay? It's not like it was, that they had a whole lot of emphasis on it or anything. Like give me a break, you know? Um, but yeah, like there were definitely flashes of creative freedom that I would have liked to have seen more of. Like again, like one of my favorite examples of that is the what do we want to call it? The subversion of the famous picture of the sailor kissing a woman when they return home from World War II. Like the kind of creative change that they did with that, where they made one of the superhero women kissing the woman, I thought that was really cool. I would have liked to have seen more stuff like that and more kind of little creative like footprints or fingerprints in this than we ended up getting. And I definitely don't think that I think whenever you change mediums, when you're going to change from comic books and graphic novels to movies, or if you're going to go from, a prose book to a movie, there are just necessarily going to be some changes that you have to make in the overall kind of narrative structure of the story. Some stories are just not going to be, you know, structured in a way that you could do them in an hour and a half or 2 hour movie in a satisfying manner. But again, they condensed a lot of material from the comic, and I mean, they excised what was it? The oh god, the what is it? The Tale of the Black Freighter, I think it's called. Hold on, I think Marshlands was the one that mentioned it. Yeah, Tales from the Black Freighter. Like that is completely gone, and that was huge in the original graphic novel. It was a really good mood piece. That was a good indicator of the tension that was building in the narrative and that was coming for everyone. I guess I understand why they decided to use Doctor Manhattan as the quote unquote villain for the climax of the movie. I definitely I definitely was like, that was one creative twist that I wasn't too crazy about when I first saw it. And the original creative twist for that was that I think it was only in New York, and Ozymandias had basically gotten a whole bunch of movie directors and special effects people and everything to help him create like this fake alien essentially. And that alien dropped into New York and then just like blew up and took everyone with it. And you had just enough time to see what it was before it leveled New York. And I guess I can understand, like in this day and age, how like that's not going to be something that won't be easily picked apart and deconstructed. But if you have like, you know, several different population centers and they're all destroyed at the same time by like the effectively the only superhero on the planet, like I can see why that would be a little bit more of a believable scenario in this day and age, especially, and even back in 2009 when this movie came out. So I kind of begrudgingly understand why they did it. I'm still not a fan of it. Um, and maybe that's the graphic novel purist in me taking over a bit. But I really just kind of felt like, couldn't we have done something else, you know? But I don't know. I'm not the smartest man in the world, though. Adrian Veidt is apparently, or Tony Stark, or Reed Richards, or Mister Goddamn Terrific. I don't know. So, or Lex Luthor. So, um, but overall, I feel like this movie, while again I enjoyed it, I feel like it could have been improved. And I think one of the big improvements would be cutting the length of this film down. You could probably lose, I would say, at least half an hour off of this movie. And, you know, you would have to make some strategic cuts. You might have to interweave some scenes a little bit better. But I feel like you could do that, and that's going to make this feature a lot more palatable to a lot more people. I feel like one reason that people may avoid this movie just out the gate is its length, and especially if they've never read Watchmen, they just may sorry, they just might be like, it's a bit much. I don't think I want to do that. You know, it was definitely a factor in why I haven't exactly been looking forward to this, even though I didn't end up being like, okay, all right, I enjoyed this. You know, it is a movie with flaws. However, it does so many things right that like we have that moment in Vietnam when the woman, you know, slashes the comedian's face with the bottle. Like, you will remember me. Like, you know, it's little moments like that that I felt were just that could have easily been excised from the movie, and I feel like the movie would have lost even more at that point. You know, I feel like seeing things like Rorschach's moment of vulnerability with Night Owl and just telling him, you know, look, I know I can be difficult, and you know, you're a good friend, and I appreciate that. Like, you know, we need those little moments to actually give a damn, because really without even with that moment, Rorschach is a hard person to really care about. Yes, he's got some badass moments and badass lines and everything, but like, do we really care about him as a person? I would argue that without that moment, he becomes so much more harder to like than he already is. Even though you see like his humanity, his rage at humanity too, when he finds, you know, the little girl killed and everything. So yeah, I mean, we definitely, you know, hi, hello, trouble, come here, baby, come here. She's like, "Oh, but now you're looking at me and paying me attention. I don't want to come over now. Come here, sweetie. Come on. Come on. If you come over here, I'll give you treats later." She knows I'm going to give her treats anyways, so. Um but yeah, I guess in terms of a letterboxed rating, um this movie was one of those movies that when I went to see it, I wanted to give it like a 4 or a 4.5. You know, it's one of those movies that again is taken from a piece of media that I read and fell in love with. And I feel like one of the things that brings it down from 4 stars for me is that this is probably like it just adheres a little too much to the graphic novel. It is so obsessed with that slavish recreation that I'm just like, oh, just this is a movie. bring some more cinematic conventions to it. And it again, it does do that on occasion, but not enough. And so I would definitely, I would like it to be shorter. I would like it to be a little bit more of its own thing than it ended up being. So for that reason, I would say that this movie on Letterboxd for me, it definitely is above a 3-star movie. I would say that this is easily 3.5 stars, no problem. Which for me, a 3-star movie is this is great. This is fine. I don't have any big issues with it. 3.5 is a little bit better. I think for me like a 4. I think like Ghostbusters Afterlife is a 4, whereas like Ghostbusters is like a 4.5. You know, and then you have like another movie that Billy Crudup is in, Big Fish, which for me that's a 5-star movie. You know, because fathers and sons, and I just relate to that movie so well. I can't help but love it. So I would say 3.5 stars out of 5 for Watchmen, at least for me, is a very fair and you know, I think a fairly ringing endorsement, especially when you consider some of the flaws along with all of the great moments that you see in the narrative of this movie. So I think, I mean, again, it's probably been a good 15 years or so since I've seen this movie. And after having sat down to watch it, after kind of dreading it for a little while, like, am I going to want to sit here this long? You know, it was nearly 3 hours, 2 hours and 43 minutes, I think. And really, like, I won't say I didn't feel that, but I didn't feel it anywhere near as much as I thought I would. Hi. Hello. Come on, you can come over here. Come on, baby, you can come here. Trouble. Come on, baby. Come here. Come on, you know your dad loves you. Yeah. She's trying so hard to get my attention. So, anyways, I think what the bottom line is, what I'm trying to tell you in so many words here, guys, is that I'm glad I did this I'm glad I did this watch party. I'm glad that I was able to revisit this movie after so long and to just be like, you know, still has its flaws, but it's still very enjoyable. And I definitely enjoyed watching it. And hopefully you did as well. Thank you for watching this reaction. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and thwip the like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well. Also, consider sharing this out to your friends, your family, your followers, anyone that you think would enjoy my reaction to these media. In this case, fans of, I would say, the Watchmen sector of the DC universe. Hi. Come here. Come here. You can come over here. Come on, you can be part of the outro. You want to do that? Huh? Come here, baby. I love this kitty so much. All right. What did you think of this movie? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Let me know why in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you about this film. You can find the full and unedited live stream of this reaction on my YouTube channel. There is a master playlist of all movies that I have watched and reacted to, and I'm dividing them up into shorter playlists by genre and some tagged playlists. Watchmen would go in the science fiction, action, and mystery genre playlists, and I think under tagged playlists I have created I have created comic book movies, let me think, DC, and superhero movies. Let me just make sure I've got all of that correct. I have a spreadsheet. So yeah, comic books, superheroes, so comic book movies, superhero movies, they are distinct, and DC movies as well. Whichever of those playlists you go looking for, be sure to look for them on my YouTube channel under the category Watch Party. And finally, Channel memberships are now live on the Spidey Librarian YouTube channel. Check out the membership tiers and see which benefits you'd like access to. Perks include shoutouts, members-only videos, members-only live streams, and early access to selected uploaded content, as well as a few other benefits. And that's not even mentioning my custom emotes and badges, which I think look pretty good. Check out the membership tiers today and see which perks you'd like access to. All right, and I think that's everything. So thanks again for watching. This is Spidey Librarian, and until my next stream or upload, I'll be wishing you a good day. Okay, all right. Let me go ahead and see what you guys are, what you guys were saying in chat during the film. It's usually about 2 hours. Watchmen was a great film. It is. It is. I definitely enjoyed the rewatch. Ozymandias is Matthew Good. Okay, all right. And I don't think I said this during the review. I definitely liked some of the kind of flourishes that actor brought to Ozymandias. He, like one decision that he made that I really enjoyed was that he has an American accent whenever he's talking to the public. Whenever he's in private, he switches over to a German accent, which I believe, you know, I believe that was supposed to be the character's, yeah, Veit, yeah, that was his heritage. So, let's see, agreed on length. It could be cut down by about half an hour. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And CG thinks that we mostly agree on the film. We actually had quite a few comments from you guys today. I expect the lion's share are from CG, but let's see. We had I was talking to them. I was talking to CG and Marshlands for a while before the movie started. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I think I might have started to tune out when I asked about Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He has a cameo. Yeah. He definitely got a small handful of various different comic book roles. He was also Negan in the Walking Dead universe shows. That's when I started. Yeah, I think that's when I got to close to starting the movie. All right. CG says that he feels like anything that Zack Snyder works on is divisive. He likes all of his superhero films. He doesn't think they're perfect, but they all have impressive qualities. I mean, of the ones that I can remember which ones they are, I would say that Watchmen is probably my favorite of them. I didn't care for Man of Steel. I didn't care for Batman versus Superman. Like, they have their moments, but like there's a lot for me to pick apart about them, especially Batman versus Superman. I was just like, what are you doing with this movie? But that's just me. So in terms of stories and characterization, CG thinks that Zack Snyder's superhero films all have questionable moments. However, on a visual level, they're amazing. I won't deny that on visual, you know, in terms of visuals, Zack Snyder is pretty, like, he knows his stuff. But visuals alone do not do it for me for any movie. They definitely can help. They can enhance a good story, but I don't, again, I can only go so far with it. All right. Aside from Tim Burton, CG thinks that Zack Snyder is the best at making visually amazing superhero films. Watchmen is more intense and a lot more of a downer than what CG normally wants from superhero stories. However, he feels like there are enough interesting things going on in the story to make it work. I mean, I think in terms of the overall narrative, like, yes, this one's a downer. But I think that's part of what's so fascinating about it for me. It's not only a downer, but it is also like he's taking the concept of masked vigilantes and superheroes and basically asking the question, are these people really making the world a better place? Are they actually doing that, or are they making things worse? And I think that at the heart of the movie, that's the central question of Watchmen, you know, both in terms of the graphic novel and the movie. So, all right, Patrick Wilson played Night. Oh God, I still can't believe that. He later went on to play Orm in the Aquaman films. I don't think I remember him in those movies, but I think I only watched the first one, too. Billy Crudup, who played Dr. Manhattan, later went on to play Barry Allen's dad in the Justice League. Oh, yeah. Wait, did he? I may need to rewatch that. Um, was he Barry Allen's dad in The Flash? I want to say I remember seeing him. I'm always going to associate Billy Crudup with the movie Big Fish, which if you guys haven't seen Big Fish, highly recommend it. Bring tissue. That's all I'm going to say. In terms of the four Zack Snyder superhero films, Watchmen is CG's least favorite, but he still likes it. Thinks that he would give it a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. Yeah, we're pretty close on ratings for those. Then I would say. The main two films that CG knows Carla Gugino from are Night at the Museum and Mr. Popper's Penguins. I don't think I've seen Mr. Popper's Penguins. I did watch Night at the Museum and really enjoyed it. I watched it on this channel, in fact. I think what I know Carla Gugino from, first and foremost, is Spy Kids. I think she was in that. Let's see. Yes, she was definitely in that. What else have I seen her in? She was in The Haunting of Hill House, which if you like horror and like, you don't mind watching a show, that was so good. Loved it so much. Yeah, I probably know her best from Spy Kids. I think I've seen her in a couple of other little things. Um, I think she's attractive, and I was just like, ooh, Carla Gugino, let's see more of her. So instead of Zack Snyder's films getting longer cuts, it would be great to see cuts that are trimmed down without removing anything essential. I definitely don't disagree with you on that front. CG feels like Watchmen could have been cut down to a little over 2 hours in length. Again, we definitely agree on that. CG hasn't seen Patrick Wilson in too many things, but whenever he does see him, he always does a good job. Yeah, no, I'm always going to know him as like, the kind of the Prince of Horror from, I guess, what, when did Insidious and The Conjuring come out? I want to say like the late aughts to the early 2010s, like sometime around there. Moloch is played by Matt Frewer, who is a really good actor. Watchmen isn't the first thing that he played a bad guy isn't the first time that he played a bad guy in a superhero film, because he played the villain from the Generation X TV film. I have not seen that. I do want to see that at some point. I just don't know when I'm going to get around to it. Let's see. Moloch isn't in the film very long, but CG thinks that he's a cool, memorable character. CG, I'm curious. Have you read the Watchmen graphic novel? Because if you haven't, I would recommend it. Let's see. Matt Frewer also voiced the leader in the Hulk cartoon show from the 90s and guest voiced Sid the Squid in an episode of Batman the Animated Series. I remember Sid the Squid. Isn't that the guy who accidentally kills Batman or something? I think I remember that one. I don't know. Most of you guys probably don't know this, but I'm currently watching Batman the Animated Series. It's it's my treadmill show. Whenever I get on the treadmill, I walk briskly for the entire length of an episode. And so I haven't gotten to that episode yet. But if I remember correctly, Sid the Squid is the name that they give the guy who like accidentally kills Batman. It makes it look like he killed Batman. And I think he really pissed off the Joker for that reason. So Sid the Squid. That's funny. Also, Matt Frewer is in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. He plays a nosy researcher that visited the crew. I might remember who you're talking about. Doesn't he try to kidnap Data, I think? All right, Rorschach's scene where he tries to intimidate the prisoners is really memorable. I felt surprised that it was referenced in an Addams Family film where Wednesday quotes him to intimidate a bully. Really? I apparently need to rewatch that Addams Family movie. Or was it one of the live action movies? No, no, those are probably older than Watchmen. So was it one of the animated Addams Family movies? I gotta see that. Rorschach is not exactly likable, but he's an interesting and complex. Yes, definitely, definitely. Big Figure was played by Danny Woodburn, who played one of Kramer's friends in Seinfeld. Yeah, he definitely had a memorable face. So, CG thinks that Watchmen and Alita Battle Angel are the only films that he's seen that have Jackie Earl Haley in them. So Jackie Earl Haley also played Freddy Krueger when they tried to basically reboot the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. And I think he did a good job. I had a lot of issues with that movie. Mainly, mainly, I feel like that movie was trying to retread too much territory and it was a little too serious. Where by the end of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, Freddy was basically a joke or a gag character. Like, yes, he still killed people, but he had fun while he did it, you know? Um, but yeah, I feel like they missed a big narrative opportunity when they rebooted the franchise that I will maybe get into at some point, but at least for now, I'm just going to leave it there. All right, Marshlands felt like, to an extent, I'm not really supposed to like Rorschach. Yeah, he's meant to be unlikable to a degree. Yes, no, I definitely agree. And apparently CG does as well. Rorschach has some mildly good traits, but he almost feels like a villain. Yeah, I think that's intentional. I'm pretty sure that's intentional. Let's see. CG thinks that Watchmen and X-Men Origins Wolverine were the only superhero films to get a big theatrical release in 2009. That wouldn't surprise me. The MCU started in 2008 with Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk, but I think in 2009 they just hadn't planned for any sequels by that point, and so the next film that came out in the franchise was actually Iron Man 2 in 2010. So yeah. Trouble, what's up? I think Trouble's getting restless. I'm going to let her out real quick and then I'll be right back. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. CG feels like Dr. Manhattan and the version of Electro from The Amazing Spider Man 2 could have been good friends. Uh, I don't know about that. I feel like Dr. Manhattan was getting too far removed from humanity to really care about friends, but you never know. All right. Before CG saw Watchmen, he didn't know who the main villain would be. However, on a first viewing, it quickly became clear to him that Ozymandias would be the main villain. Um, I mean, and again, I feel like they can only go so far to hide that because, again, this is being derived from the graphic novel. So, CG feels like the film didn't hide the twist about Ozymandias being a villain very well, but does think he's an interesting antagonist. And again, I feel like one of the central conceits of the film is that it actually asks, is Ozymandias actually the villain or is he the hero? Figure that one out, you know? Like think about it like that. And then let's see. And then we got to some questions that I have answered. We're going to skip over some of it. CG thinks that we mostly agree about the film. Good to know. The only other film that CG knows Matthew Good from is Leap Year. His acting's not bad in Leap Year, but the film itself is really bad, and he wouldn't recommend it. Okay. All right. Billy Crudup didn't reprise his role as Barry's dad for The Flash. Okay. Think that he was busy at the time? All right. And you don't think that you've read Watchmen? I would give it a read if you feel like doing so. Said the squid is the guy from that defeated the Batman in the animated series. Okay. And then it was an animated Addams Family film from 2019. Okay, I don't think I've seen any of the animated Addams Family movies. So let's see. Wobble says that Matthew Good is in The Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch. Great film about Alan Turing. Oh, right. I remember the marketing for that movie. I never got around to seeing it though. Might have to add that one to the list. Um, okay. Oh, and CG has seen that film and didn't realize that Matthew Good was in it. Okay. All right. And CG says that he guesses that I'm not in a rush to see Zack Snyder's 4-hour cut of the Justice League. It at least is split up into chapters. Yeah, I have a feeling that if I ever do the Snyder cut of the Justice League, I mean, my understanding is that that's a 4-hour long movie. Um, I would probably cut that up into 2 2-hour viewings and then just end it, do it that way. Cause yeah, you're right. There is no way that I'm gonna want to sit there and watch one 4-hour long movie. I don't think I would be able to do it. I would be miserable and probably you guys would be by extension. So let's um let's just say that while I'm not nixing the possibility. It's a small possibility, and that's how I would do it. So I don't know. All right, okay, and God, it's 5:30. Wow. Yeah, no, I knew this one was going to be a long time. So I think at this point I need to figure out dinner for my household. It is kind of my thing to do tonight. And then looks like Wobble's going to be streaming in about 23 minutes. Now, for those of you that are here, if you guys have not met Wobble Rocket before, go check out his content. He does a lot of variety content, but he does a lot of video game streaming as well. I believe Wobble, you're also interested in tabletop and board games as well, right? Go check out his stream. He's going to be streaming at about 6 o'clock, so in about 20 minutes. I'm going to go and have dinner and just kind of chillax for a little bit, get into the evening, and I'll be doing a stream at 10 o'clock where I watch episode 7 of season 3 of Tulsa King tonight. So, but thank you guys for being here. Thanks for being engaged and talking about the movie with me. I really appreciate it. Take care. This is Spidey Librarian, and until my next stream or upload, I'll be wishing you a good day. Bye.